Hi, I'm Perry Black right here at Second Chance Youth Ranch with Rachel Hubbard, our Daily Operations Director, and we're in the ranch library, which is also used for family counseling. And Rachel is about to give you a tour, a very personal tour, and we're going to introduce you to some of our house parents. So don't go away, stay tuned. When I started the ministry that's responsible for Second Chance Youth Ranch, January 1st, 1988, I put on my day timer, on every page of my monthly day timer, no retreat, no remorse, no regrets. I don't believe in looking backwards. I only believe in looking up and looking forward. I'm Perry Black, pastor of Family Church, founder of Second Chance Youth Ranch.
Welcome to Second Chance Youth Ranch. I'm Rachel and I am super excited to show you around my home. So let's get started. I'm gonna give you guys a tour. So as you can see, we kind of have a western looking town out here, and that's kind of meant to symbolize, you know, a simpler time in life where family was priority and God was the center, and we wanted to create a peaceful place for children to come and heal. All of our children here at the ranch are in foster care, which means they've come from an abusive or neglectful home, and we want them to come here and be a part of a family. Second Chance Ranch is made up of several different homes that our kiddos live in, and I think that you guys would love to see one of those houses where our babies live. So the outside of this little town may look old and western and really unique because we want our kids to come somewhere fun and see something different. But when you step inside the homes, it looks like a regular home. And that's what we want. We want to create a sense of peace, a sense of family. We want our kids to live somewhere that they can be themselves, you know, and just be kids. And so if you look around, it looks probably a lot like your house, you know. If you lift a couch cushion, you may find half a broken crayon under there. So next we're gonna see our general store, and this is where we kind of process our donations and stock up on good things that our kids might need. So come on inside. So as you can see, we have everything from clothes to toys to towels to bedding and anything in between. Often whenever a child comes into foster care, they really don't have much. Sometimes we'll have a child show up with just a trash bag with a few belongings in it, and we want to have anything they could need ready to go at that moment when they arrive. Something else that we stock in here are suitcases. We always need luggage and suitcases because we don't believe that any child should travel with their belongings in a trash bag. We want them to have more dignity than that. So when our kids leave here to go to maybe an adoptive home or back with their family, we pack everything they own into suitcases that they get to keep. So that's one thing that we feel is super important. And we have everybody, we have little kids all the way up through teenagers, and so we try to keep clothing in all sizes stocked up, toys, coats, shoes, you name it, because we want to make sure that every need is met the moment that they arrive. So I want to show you guys one of our homes for our sweet babies that live here. We call this the bed and breakfast. That's just kind of what it looks like on the outside, but on the inside, you're going to find a regular home. So here we are inside one of our homes where our children live, and as you can see, it's just a regular home, but to our kids, a lot of times it's the nicest place that they have ever lived. They have only seen a clean, organized, you know, well-run home maybe on TV or something, and that has seemed like a dream to them. And so for our kids to come here and have somewhere that's set up nice, that's comfortable, that's homey, that's relaxing, it can be a life changer for them, and we're so grateful that we get to be a part of that. I remember one kid who he showed up and he was 12 years old, and his little sister was with him, and I remember she said, "Hey, do you want to go play outside?" And he just said, "No, I'm going to sit here on my bed because I cannot believe that I have my own bed to sleep in." You know, stuff that we take for granted that seems every day to us is a really big deal to these babies that we take care of. Now you've seen where our kids live, and I want to show you something else that's really special to us here at Second Chance Ranch. So come on this way. We're going to walk to the bottom of the hill, and I'm going to show you our chapel. So this chapel it's at the center of town. When you pull up to the ranch and you look down the hill, you see the chapel as kind of the centerpiece of where we live, because honestly, our faith is the center of who we are. Everything that happens at Second Chance Ranch is based on sharing the love of Jesus with children who felt discarded and unloved otherwise.
Have you ever considered a Christian education for your child? Then you should check out Arkansas Christian Academy, Saline County's fully accredited premier Christian school at an affordable family rate. Students have opportunities to excel in academics, athletics, fine arts, and technology. And through our dual enrollment program, high school students can even achieve an associate's degree prior to graduation. Visit us at arkansaschristianacademy.org.
When me and Donna started the clinic a few years after that, we had Perry come and talk to the staff. He came, and when he left, we realized we weren't supporting his ministry. So we wanted to do that. You know, we started, it was small because the clinic was small and growing, and we did what we could. Since then, the clinic has grown, the building industry's grown, and of course our support has grown. But there again, Perry's needs have grown. His needs have gotten bigger and bigger every year, but I'm glad to say that our support has gotten bigger and bigger and bigger every year. I would really encourage the other companies and business owners to look locally and you know, look at what Perry is doing, look at what Second Chance is doing, look at all the other sponsors that he has. Get involved with Second Chance Ranch. You'll see a difference, first of all, in just, you know, your company and the attitude of everything and the feel of everything, that knowing that you're helping something that as good as what Second Chance Ranch is doing.
My name is Nicole, and January 9th will be my 3rd year out here at the ranch. I heard about Second Chance Ranch because I was a member of Family Church, and I wanted to get into foster care as a private placement. And a friend of mine who was a mutual friend of Rachel's said, if you want to get onto foster care, you need to meet Rachel Hubbard at the ranch. I wanted to get into foster care because I wanted to be a parent, and I am single. And the only way I knew how to be a parent without compromising what I hold dear to my heart and my values was to foster. And I found out in Arkansas that you could be a single foster parent. So I decided, in order to fulfill this desire that God had placed on my heart to be a parent, because he didn't place a desire for a husband, he placed a desire for children. And I knew that I wanted them, but I also wanted to hold my values dear and to not compromise my Christian walk. And so in order to do that, I thought that foster care was the perfect answer. I have fostered over 10 children in almost the last 3 years. I typically only have 4 in my house at a time because I am single and they kind of do outnumber me. Right now I do have 5. I have 4 children that are 10 and under, and then I have a 17-year-old. What I've learned from some of my children is that control doesn't really exist. You can very much make it a power struggle with your children when they want something and you know that they shouldn't have it. All the power is really in their court because they don't have anything to lose. In their mind, we're just another foster home. They've been through so many. We're just another step in their path, and they don't care if they leave. Where on my hand, I don't want them to leave. I want them to stay here. I want them to make good decisions. And if I keep pushing while they're trying to push, I can lead them on a path that will help have them make bad mistakes. And so I've learned a very hard lesson is, in order to have control, you just have to give it up. And sometimes you have to walk away from the situation if they're not harming themselves or others. You just have to walk away, let them cool down, even though you want to finish that and show that you're boss. In reality, the best control you have is when you give it up and you walk away and you come back later when you're both cooled down and you're both ready to talk and really talk out the situation, and not so much say, this is the rule, this is what you're going to do, you're going to obey me. More of, this is the decision you want to make, this is why I think you shouldn't make it. If you make this decision, you will get this consequence. If you don't make this decision, then we just move on and we move forward. God prepared me for this role, I feel like, my whole life. My childhood was not idealistic. It was not a normal childhood. I don't know who my father is, so I have my mother and my brother's dad, but they split up when I was a child. And my mom moved around a lot. She had a lot of boyfriends. And so I really sympathize with a lot of my children that come in here because I'm like, I've been there. I know what it's like. I've never been in foster care, but I do know what it's like to have a rougher childhood, or to not have a whole lot of presents at Christmas time, or to not know where your next meal is going to come from. And so it really, really helps that I can sit down with my children and really honestly say and tell them, I get it. I understand. I know what you're going through. I know how you're feeling. I've been here. I've done this. And children can see that. Children can see when you're not being fake. They can see when you're being real. And they really relate to that. They were like, Miss Nicole gets it. And for them to hear about my past and the mistakes that I've made, because I haven't always walked with God. It wasn't until I was 25 that I moved in with my grandparents when I was 24, and I became a Christian at 25. And to me, my grandparents are my version of the ranch. They saved me. And if I had not moved in with them, there's no telling where I would be. And for me to be able to sit down with my kids and be like, I've made your mistakes. I've been there. I was not a good person. I did a lot of bad things. And for them to see someone who is a Christian, who is doing this, who tries every day, for them to see Jesus in me, it shows them that this is possible for them too. And that they know that this is real and that I'm real, and that they don't have to stay in the cycle that they're in. The why that keeps me motivated is really simple, and it's God. I could not do this. I have so many people, when they find out what I do, the first thing they say is, I'm glad you do this because I never could. Well, the answer is I can't do this either. And it's hard. And my flesh tells me every single day, you can't do this. This is too much. Why don't you just go home to your bed where you don't have to worry about a kid setting an alarm off at midnight or someone throwing up in the car that you now have to clean. My flesh tells me that every single day, that life would be so much easier if I wasn't doing this. But God tells me every single day that this is where I've put you, this is where you need to be, and that I will guide you and give you strength through this day. I have an amazing support system. Not only do my biological family support me, so my brother, who also works at Family Church, is called the Ranch Uncle. He's the uncle to all the kids in my house. He's the uncle really to everybody, and everyone loves him, and he's always here for birthday parties and holidays. And when I go home, when I'm like, I have been driving for 2 weeks straight, I don't want to drive anymore, but I really want McDonald's, it's 10 o'clock at night, can you go get us McDonald's? And he's like, yes, I'll go get you McDonald's. My mom and I have recently reconciled, and she's back in here, and she's Gigi to my children. And she's out here, I can call her and be like, I'm having a really bad day, I feel very overwhelmed. And she'll take off of work early and come out to me and just, even if it's not much, like it could be just a pile of laundry sitting on the table, but I'm just like, I need help. She'll come out here and help me. My grandparents support me financially. If there's a need in my house, they will either pay for it themselves or they'll talk to their friends, and their friends will help support some of our financial things. They and their retirement community have paid for zoo passes for us. They paid for a museum pass for my whole house. We do movie night every week, and in that movie night we have personal pizzas and slushies. They've paid for the icy maker and all the icy syrups. They've paid for that. And then I have the ranch itself, my village. I know if it's 2 o'clock in the morning and I've had a child who's just been escalated for hours and hours and hours, and I know that I can no longer help them, I can call Billy or Rachel or Chad Strike and say, can you please come? They're just not responding to me anymore. And Rachel will come down here or Billy will come down here, even if it's 2 o'clock in the morning, and they step right in. I know that I can call other foster parents and say, I am really, really sick today. One of my kids they're just really hyper and they just want to play, and I just cannot keep up with them. I really, really just need a small break. Can you watch one of my kids for a few hours? And they do. And so I have help everywhere I turn. And we were sitting around the table one night after eating dinner, because I had all teenagers then, and they were just talking about the what if game. What if this happened, what would you do? What if that happened, what would you do? And one of my girls said, Miss Nicole, if you had no job and you were living on the streets and your children needed food, I bet you would rob somebody. And that one girl who was just really hard, who I thought just wasn't hearing anything I was saying, spoke up and said, oh no, Miss Nicole would never do that. She would pray and it would happen. They do see not just me, that they see Jesus in me, which is my biggest thing that I want my kids to see. If there's one thing that I could say to encourage anyone out there who's thinking about foster care but think they can't do it, is you can. God can do so many amazing things through you if you just let Him. You just have to step back and say, I cannot do this on my own. It's not possible for me to do what I do. It is not possible for me to take care of 5 children who need my attention 24/7 when I'm one person. But I know that when I step back and let God work through me, that I can take care of any need of any child that walks through my house, and you can too. You just have to stop being afraid and just take that step and just trust in God that if He brought you and put this desire in your heart, that He will equip you through everything that you have to work through.
Hello, I am Terry Tripp, and this is Empower Minute. Do you ever feel unqualified to do what God has called you to do? Well, let me remind you of something. Noah got drunk. Jacob was a liar. Rahab was a prostitute. David had an affair. Moses was a murderer. Peter denied Christ. John the Baptist ate bugs and Lazarus was dead. Hey, what's your excuse? God has never had anyone qualified working for Him yet. Now, I'm not condoning what these people did, but my point is God used all of them. Don't count yourself out. Let God use you in spite of your faults, failures, or sins. Yield to His plan today. This station helps you to do that. Support them financially. They are proclaiming hope all over the world.
So I want to show you guys our chapel, and this is my favorite building here at Second Chance Ranch, because you know what? Everything we do, it matters, but nothing changes lives the way sharing the love of Jesus Christ does with these kids. So come on inside and let's take a look. So this is our chapel. We use this room anytime all of us want to get together and do something. So it might be for a time of prayer or worship or to just hang out and have fun. One of my favorite things that's ever occurred in this chapel is we had one of our girls who was raised here at Second Chance Ranch come back and get married here. And Billy and I got to serve as her parents at her wedding. That was a full circle moment. It was really cool. Probably my favorite just piece that we have here at the ranch is this painting behind me. So this is a tree that's painted on reclaimed wood, and I love the wood portion of it because it shows that you can take something that has been discarded or is old or doesn't feel like it has much value and create something really, really beautiful out of that, which is what God does for us. But the cool thing about this painting is it's not just a tree. Because if you look up close, there are hundreds of leaves on this tree, and on those leaves is the name of every single child who's ever lived at Second Chance Youth Ranch. There are hundreds of them up there. And when they're grown up, they come back out here and they get to come and find their name on the tree. And it reminds them that they're a part of our family forever. They may only live with us for a short time, but they will always be ours. Thank you for coming and touring Second Chance Ranch with me. It's my pleasure to share my home with you. We depend on the support of donors just like you to make this happen. This setting is really a dream come true for kids who would not have this opportunity otherwise. And so we appreciate your partnership so much.
Could you be Mom and Dad of this empty house and bring some song to those kids who need you? Could you be the ones who fill a gap and allow God to give you that tap? Could you be Mom and Dad? Could you set the table and allow broken kids to be able to eat a meal and finish their homework? Could you make a homework knowing the courage it took for that kid to get out of bed today? Could you be Mom and Dad? Could you handle the rough days, the rough ways, the rough stays when kids are angry and lash out? It feels personal, but it's not about you. Can you be there to help them through? The pain, the chaos, the deep sting of loss, they are not waste. They can't be tossed out like an old couch with rips and stains. They carry their things in a trash bag, a constant reminder of the life they had. Could you be a mom and dad? Could your shoulder be broad to catch some tears, to soothe those fears of all the trauma they've endured? Could you carry burdens from years of faltering families far and wide? Can you make a stable home and allow aching kids to gather inside? Could you help step up now and help us provide a home, a ranch, a second chance? These kids are His sheep, His lambs, His people. Could you be Mom and Dad?
I want to introduce you to a very special friend of mine, Jim Grant. Some of you that watch Kids Like You, Jailhouse Joe.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
There's nothing like Jailhouse Joe.
Once you put a stupid costume on, they never let you forget it. Thanks.
I don't have to wear a costume. Stupid is, stupid does. But Jim is the manager. What are you, Jim, at Victory Television Network?
The general manager.
The general manager.
And associate minister.
Associate minister.
It's a long title.
A long title. Yeah. Someone asked me why I named my ministry Destined to Win Family Outreach Ministries. And I said, well, because we have a lot to do.
There you go.
You just can't say, Bob.
Yeah.
You got to explain it. So
spell it out.
The reason I wanted you to be on this section of the show, Jim, is because Pastor Caldwell, Sister Caldwell, you, your wife Cindy, we've been friends and in ministry together for decades. And I really wanted our viewers at Second Chance Youth Ranch TV, why partnership with VTN? Why are you guys partners with us? And of course, we know why we're partners with VTN, because we're part of the VTN family. But why are you at VTN such an integral part of Second Chance Youth Ranch TV?
Well, first, VTN is, our assignment is the state of Arkansas. God gave us this state as our assignment.
A window into the homes.
Into the homes of people all over Arkansas. We love Arkansas people. God's put that in our heart. And so we want to partner with Arkansas-based ministries that are making a difference here in the home state. There are a lot of good works internationally, nationally, other states, but we want to partner with people in Arkansas. Yeah. And we've seen what you and the team at the ranch have done for years. You're making a difference. You're changing lives.
19 years.
Oh my gosh.
We've had broke ground in 2000 and received our first children in December of 2005.
Amazing.
And I tell everybody, everywhere I go, I have worked hard for over 40 years to be internationally unknown. How am I doing?
Congratulations.
You got to have a go.
You're there. You're there.
And VTN has been an integral part of my life in ministry for over 20 years.
Right.
And I remember many years ago when I was on staff at Agape Church with Pastor Caldwell, sitting around the lunchroom sometimes talking about the dream of a television channel to reach the state of Arkansas. And now to just be in partnership. And we are so appreciative. What would you say to anybody that's watching Second Chance Youth Ranch TV? Why should they be in partnership with Second Chance Youth Ranch and young people in foster care?
Yeah, just like the network, God brings dreams to pass. And what we see are a dramatic change in the lives of these kids. I was thinking about this coming out today, and I thought, many of these kids are going to come out of the ranch, and they're going to be Arkansan adults.
Yes, they are.
And they're going to be productive.
Yep.
They're not going to go back into that same cycle abuse and neglect.
Break the generational curse.
Yeah. And you're going to see, I think, Perry, many of these kids that are going to be engineers, doctors, entrepreneurs, you know. And I'll tell you what, don't be surprised at some point in time if one of these kids doesn't become the next governor of the state of Arkansas.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome. Then I wouldn't have to do it.
So you I think that's not going to happen, but I think one of your kids at the ranch could. So that's what we see, is we see lives changing, and they don't have to go back into that cycle. And we see these dreams in a big way, like what you've done in your ministry and in VTN, happen in the lives of these kids, that individually they can make a difference and be a shining light in their neighborhoods and their families. It's already happening.
And you nailed it. And be a shining light, not just in the neighborhood, but to their own families. And our goal at Second Chance Ranch is family restoration, that we become a part of their life for the rest of their life. And if they're not restored to family, we become their forever family. And as Second Chance Youth Ranch, we're always looking for foster parents, we're looking for house parents, and we're looking for adoptive parents. The opportunities to be involved and engage is really an endless myriad of opportunity, and we want people to know that. We're honored at Family Church Bryant and Second Chance Youth Ranch TV to be in partnership with Victory Television Network. You and Cindy and Pastor and Sister Caldwell, an integral part of our life and our life story. If I were to ever write a book, it would have to include the story of Victory Television Network and Pastor Caldwell's influence in my life. You as my friend is invaluable, and there's nothing like having a friend like you that has the creative genius of reaching kids and helping us reach foster kids.
Genius.
Genius.
Put that in the chapter.
You're in. Jim Grant, God bless you.
All right.
Thanks for watching. I pray this show is inspiring you and informing you, and I also pray it's challenging you, but more so, I pray that you take an opportunity to partner with us. I'm just going to be honest. We would love to have your financial support so we can continue to impact this generation. I don't believe in a pathetic generation. I believe this generation is prophetic, and with your support, we can continue to change lives and change the world. God bless.